Hello, my beautiful people, and welcome to Sandy's Library. I'm Sandy, and today we're going to try something a little bit different. Just as an FYI, there won't be a reading today. Even though you can see our in-house oracle decks here, I just wanted to give you guys something pretty to look at while I run my mouth. It's better than having to look at my tired old worn out face. Hey y'all, I'm old, and if you live long enough, it's gonna happen to you. So instead of a tarot reading today, we're gonna talk about my spiritual awakening. And just for the record, y'all, this ain't my idea. This is strictly my guide's idea. But as they say, I am the vessel through which their knowledge flows. So basically, what they want me to do now is they want me to start uploading a couple of videos a week where I chat about my spiritual journey. So, beginning today, every Monday and Tuesday, we'll upload Sandy's spiritual chats instead of tarot readings. And I'll admit that by sharing my experiences with y'all, it might shed a little more light on my readings. You know, it'll help if y'all understand where I'm coming from. So, anyway, today we're going to talk about when my third eye opened up. That's when my spirit guides started talking to me. But I'm getting ahead of myself. It's worth noting that I do have cognitive issues these days. I'm not going to delve into that too much though. I just wanted to mention it for full disclosure and to acknowledge this could all stem from my cognitive issues. And, you know, even if it does, it doesn't make it any less real. So, I guess this part of my journey, the story begins about 8 years ago. That's when I started having a few memory problems. My doctor dismissed it with, well, you're over 50 now. Things slow down, including our minds. Don't y'all just love that great medical care that we're all getting now? Then I started having focus and concentration problems. Oh, and my short-term memory, well, it was getting worse. And you know, things just kept progressing from there. And not in a good way either. But I'm not going to get into all the issues I have with getting my doctor to believe me. Because, well, I could still carry on a conversation, so I must be okay. I mean, that's what he told me about 5 years ago. But anyway, that's not what I want to talk to y'all about today. Beyond to say that, as we move through the chat here, you will become acquainted with my left brain issues that do include stumbling over words. The wrong words sometimes fall out of my mouth, even though I'm thinking the right ones. Good news is, I can still catch and correct that. Mostly. And I sometimes lose words before I can get them out of my mouth. And fortunately, my guides help with the latter during readings. So, nevertheless, it was about late 2015 when I began to meditate. And let me explain a couple of fundamental things about me. I have always felt alone in the world, even though I have people around me who love me and I love them. Nevertheless, I have still always felt alone. I was raised by my maternal grandparents, and my grandfather was a preacher. So, yeah, I was taught to believe in God. I was also forced to read the Bible countless times. Yet, the traditional idea of God the God of the Bible has never really resonated with me. I've always thought, part of the story is missing here. And so, during my teenage years, and this was the early 70s, when I really began to grasp subjects in school like astronomy, science, space travel, Roswell, that's when an idea began to resonate with me, that the God of the Bible was most likely an alien. Now, trust me, I didn't tell that to very many people back then. Hey, I was born and raised in the South. I was one step away from being committed back then. So, I started keeping my thoughts and my opinions to myself till I couldn't anymore. See, the thing about cognitive issues, at least for me, is that I lost all of my filters. So, I'll warn you guys, if cursing bothers you, and let me just say that Sandy's crew will mute out any F-bombs that I might happen to drop here. But there's no way I want them to spend their time muting every shit, hell, dumbass, and damn that comes out of my mouth. So if cursing bothers you, you probably shouldn't be here. Anyway, I used to be really good at filtering my thoughts. These days, not so much. So you're going to hear exactly what I think. So, in a nutshell, in late 2015, I'm someone who has felt their entire life that there is more. But more of what? I just didn't know. But in my gut, in 2015, I could feel it. There was more out there than what we as humans are able to see. So I started meditating. It's also worth noting that meditating does help with the chaotic mess that's going on inside my head from my cognitive issues. And so I'm going to say, I started meditating probably in September of 2015. And I'm going to say it was late February of 2016, close to 6 months of daily meditation sessions. I'm sitting on my bed. I've been in a meditative state for about an hour. And you know how when you close your eyes, there's darkness? And, some people report to me that they do see the sparkles of color floating around. Other people say, I don't know what you're talking about. All I see is darkness. But nevertheless, here I am. I'm deep in meditation and I'm watching these sparkly colors spiraling and darting across the darkness in front of my closed eyes. And the best I can describe it to you guys is that these clouds billowed up and blocked out the darkness. And somehow I knew that if I stared at those clouds long enough, they'd open up. And I was curious, if I'm being honest, a little bit nervous about what I might see. But I sat there waiting. And I'll tell you, I was not prepared for what I saw. But when those clouds parted, just a bit in the center, I saw this eye looking back at me. It was a regular eye, except the skin, and I use that term loosely, but the skin around this eye, it was this white color. And I'm not talking about white people white either. It was actually white. And it was almost transparent too. The eyeball looked like a regular eyeball, except for the iris. It was this brilliant, vividly intense blue. I'm not sure if I'd ever seen a blue quite like this blue here in the 3D. And then the damn thing blinked at me. And when it opened its eye back up, the iris was purple. And again, the most brilliant, vividly intense purple that I have ever seen. And again, I've got nothing to compare it to here in the 3D. Well, you know, this all scared shit out of me. So I opened my eyes. And it's weird, y'all, but before my eyes even opened completely, I'd already heard this incredibly comforting and soothing masculine voice say to me, "We are sorry. We did not mean to scare you. We are attempting to establish a direct connection between you and your main spirit guide. She wishes to speak with you." So even before the thought could formulate in my head to ask, "Who the hell are you? And do you mean me any harm?" he answered, and before I go on, I just want to say that this voice was inside my head, not outside. And it was a voice that I have never heard before. I mean, my thought processes inside my head play out to me in my own voice. And it's my understanding that that is typical. So, when you hear a voice inside your head that's not your own, you tend to listen. But anyway, what he said to me was, "We mean you no harm. We are here to help you with the upcoming portion of your life's path that you are about to undertake." Well, boy, were they spot on. And, you know, now I know them as the blue eye is Archangel Michael, and the purple one is Archangel Zadkiel. And y'all can pronounce these archangel names any way y'all want to. I don't care. You can even correct me in the comments if you want to. I don't care. You know what you know, and I know what I know. But, you know, I'm not saying I always speak it the way I hear it. But I do the best I can with what I'm left to work with here in the 3D. Anyway, they introduced me to Willowbeth. She's my main guide. She tells it like it is. Plus, she's kind of funny. And I enjoy having her whispering in my ear, so to speak. And to be clear, I'm just using that as an old adage, you know, because she's inside my head, not outside. But anyways, Willowbeth's voice is one that is distinct and uniquely different from mine. And no, I don't believe in demons. I am not possessed. My guides have never told me to do anything that would physically harm myself or anyone else. In fact, I credit them for me still being here. A year ago, I was ready to go home. And I don't mean back to Louisiana neither. And I was prepared to get there by any means necessary. So anyway, after my third eye opened up, I began seeing, with my eyes closed, still images as well as moving images during meditation and just prior to falling asleep. So what this is like, imagine looking at a photograph or a movie, except that your eyes are closed. But you're still seeing it. It's that clear. I'm not imagining it like replaying a memory. I'm watching it and wondering what's going to happen next. A few weeks after my introduction to Willibeth, I had a pair of new voices set up residence inside my head. They introduced me to the divine pair or twin flame concept. And we'll get into that in another video. That's a topic that deserves its own video rather than a few minutes at the tail end of this one. And incidentally, after the channel was opened up between me and Willibeth, I'm now able to talk to numerous spirit guides and other benevolent beings on a daily basis. I don't have to go into a meditative state to do it either. I don't and never have used any special aids during meditation beyond some soft piano music through my earbuds and some mala beads. These beads that I use are amethyst and lapis chrysocolla with some lava bead spacers. And just for the record, I don't have any special candles or any other meditation gadgets or devices. I just came into it armed with my need to understand who I am, where I came from, and what I'm really doing here, or trying to do, as the case may be for me. Now, y'all remember what I said about when I was a teenager and how my theory on God being an alien was received, right? So, y'all can imagine why I haven't told too many people about this blinking eye experience. Till now, anyway. But my guides want me to tell y'all, so I am. And since I am, I really want to know, has anybody out there ever experienced this blinking eye phenomenon? Has it ever happened to you? If so, can you comment below or send me an email if you don't want to make it public? I completely understand. I get it. Look, y'all, I've seen a neurologist and a neuropsychologist. I didn't tell my neuropsychologist about the blinking eye. Not after my neurologist's reaction. I mean, he made me go get an MRI, a brainwaves test, both of which were normal, I might add. And no, I don't have schizophrenia. The neurologist, the neuropsychologist really looked into all that, even without knowing about the spiritual aspect of my awakening. So anyway, for almost 4 years now, I kept the knowledge that my guides shared with me to myself. But they say it's time I share it with the world. So here we are. Every Monday and Tuesday now, I'm going to upload videos where I share the things that my guides have told me about the spirit world, including how souls are born, for lack of a better label for it, here in the 3D. And what the big picture is regarding incarnation. Now, look, I really don't know much about incarnating into other worlds beyond what my guides have shared with me about how other alien species relate to our 3D history here on Earth, which isn't much, y'all. So, there won't be any videos about the Pleiades, the Anunnaki, or the Sirius star system. I do feel, though, Like, I'm probably quite familiar with them all, but Willabeth says that that information is irrelevant. That said, my guides do let me ask questions, and if they feel that the answer won't infringe upon anyone's free will or hinder my growth here in this lifetime, they'll usually answer my questions. And so now they want me to share this information with y'all. So stay tuned, because we will be back with another spiritual chat tomorrow. In the meantime, check out our tarot readings and in-house oracle flip-through decks. And be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell, because between tarot readings and spiritual chats, we upload a brand new video every day. Wishing you love, peace, and happiness. Later, Gators.